Hello everybody, and I want to talk to you about the new Gears of War that's going to be coming out. They did give a release date for the new Gears of War Judgment. It's supposedly coming out March 19th, 2013. Whether this is true or not, I hope so, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen because last time it got pushed back for whatever political reasons and business reasons. Though I want to talk to you about this Judgment, the overrun mode. And this is what it's doing is they're hybriding and mixing together the two horde-based modes, the horde mode and the beast mode that you were playing as the creatures. And they said it was going to be a 5-on-5 game. Playing it is fun and stuff like that. I got tons of information from E3 and Comic-Con and all this other stuff, and it just takes me a while to put out all this stuff. I'm sorry, guys. And it was the fact that they were doing a study, and they were saying they had got all this feedback saying that people wanted to mix these two game types together. They wanted a competitive version of the horde mode because it was fun to kill and attack the bots, but they always felt that there needed to be something else. There was something missing. And I kind of do agree with them that there seems to be something missing, that when you're playing this game, there needs to be some more to do in there. But before I get on, they had been doing a study, and what they had found out that a lot of people, that when they were playing the game, they had their favorite characters. And their first most favorite character was Anya Strahd, Strahd, I believe. And I'm like, what? Oh, yeah, I can see... Wait 1 second. I can definitely see now why Anya Strahd was their #1 top pick as a favorite character. I mean, wow. Yeah, honestly, I don't think any of the other characters had a chance that compared to Anya Strahd. But moving on from Anya Strahd being the most popular character was the fact that they said Baird was the second most popular character in the game. And honestly, truth be told, I know why. The guy is a smart-mouthing guy. He says what needs to be done, said. And honestly, if there's any tension in the game or any stress that they need to release with comedic effect, Baird was always there. And honestly, this is their foray into a custom, a class-based multiplayer, and I'm excited that they're doing this this class-based multiplayer because honestly, there's I believe 4 classes for the COG and a couple, and I want to say the same amount for the enemy creatures. I'm blanking out on their name. Locust, thank you, Locust. I'm blanking out, damn it. But the first one for it is the medic, and honestly, the basic simple thing is healing and reviving fallen teammates. And you know what? That is a huge important factor in a competitive game. And this kind of horde-like based idea, and I'm glad they're doing that. I'm glad they have this medic that's there to help you pick you up, make sure you don't get your ass handed to you left and right, and help out teammates. This guy will probably be the one that will be screamed out and sweared out at the most, mainly because the healers have the hardest job to do because they have to deal with all the crazy shit and the injuries. But they also have I believe the combat engineer, who his point is to repair any buildings and stuff that's destroyed, which is a very good aspect. I'm glad that they're having this just starting of teamwork together, that the engineer's job is mostly for actually setting up in place, repairing emplacements, and he's the only one that can, I believe, do it. But he also has the ability to put down a turret, and I'm glad that they're letting these little power-based things, so it literally forces people to use each other together and work together, because it's better to have this balanced team working together, because without a balanced team, your ass is going to be handed to you. It's one of these things, definitely, this I could see definitely be a very good, fun, competitive multiplayer aspect in it, because this is kind of what we always wanted to see, this weird, crazy stuff to have fun with and mess around with. I also believe the next character that they had there was the soldier, and his major point in the game is to be throwing down ammo packs to resupply you, since this is kind of a just the objective base is to destroy the generator in this game type. I believe there's probably going to be multiple there's going to be, for the enemy creatures to be multiple characters that come in, and you just have to take out the objective. And it was a fun aspect to see, and it forces you that if ammo gets low, that this guy has to pitch it out and force you to pretty much get your ass up and start supporting your teammate by resupplying any ammo, and it does promote. It allows people to actually burn through ammo more and not worry about, oh, I'm running low on ammunition, I gotta do some other crazy things. You can literally pop the ammo box in front of the enemy, in front of your teammates, so you don't have to worry about running out of stuff. And the greatest effect that, even though you can literally find choke points and create choke points and lock it in there and kind of dig yourself in. And last character for the COG is the sniper or the scout, and he's the quick movement guy. He can take the high positions and give you a very good cover field of it. And he has a special ability where he throws out a tagging grenade, and not only does it show the enemies and gives little blips over their heads, it also lets your own teammates see them through characters. It sees those enemy characters through cover. And if these guys are tagged, they also get more damage done to them. And I was glad this is good. So, I mean, it literally doesn't make it unfair for, okay, the sniper just has this high perch. He actually has a power that is useful, not only in delivering intel for your teammates, but also pretty much allowing you the ability to kick ass and do more damage, so the enemy has to rethink and figure out who's the most problematic class. Do we have to take out the engineer so we can break in, or do we go after the medic that's making sure everyone gets revived and doesn't get hurt, or do we go for the sniper that's going to let people do more damage, or do we go for the soldier who we want to make sure they can start not being able to resupply so quickly and bleed them out through their ammunition and such. I mean, that's a great concept and great idea to do. I mean, it creates team play and just different forms of tension in the game where you have to think about different things and work together, and not like, oh, okay, I'm just doing this. Okay, oh, you're the scout, or you're the cast. Oh, help me. It forces you to really fight your way through it. And now the biggest thing is that the enemy, the locust, what do we have to worry about? I mean, honestly, what are we going to do with them? And the biggest thing that there's going to be like several of them, and the first one, honestly, that everyone's gonna remember from the horde-based, the beast mode that was in there, these little tickers that would run around and start scratching into the cover and these defenses, trying to help your enemies get through. And that is the first creature that you're going to be actually being able to play along with wretches and some of the drones, and I believe they're the grenadiers. And those are the first ones, and you get the most basic ones to start out with. And the longer the game goes, the more times you go through it, you get different things happen. And it was a good idea, because you'll use the tickers to go in through there, and they have I believe ability to boost on through quickly, so you can move quickly from cover to cover. So if enemy can't hit you well, excuse me. If the enemy can't hit you well, you can literally blitz to cover and not have to worry, and they can detonate and explode, so you can easily do massive damage to the emplacements. The Grenadier, typical locust that just runs on in through and kills, and he has also, I believe, the ability to pop extra grenades, and that comes back as a respawn, so they can't just abuse it massively. The wretches, those little like monkey running things in there, have the a screech ability, but they're able to go over cover and move quickly, so they can threaten the scout on the enemy team, which is a very good idea. That even the classes themselves are designed to be causing problems against the class based of the cogs that are there. And it was cool to see, and it was the fact that you got the little wretches that will pause and freeze enemies, so you literally, if you're communicating with your teammates, you can really do some serious damage, even on an enemy team that's working together, because as long as you can get like one person to pay attention one way, and you can literally have this cascading effect to push your way through deeper and deeper. They also have the, I believe, what was it? The Cantus and the Corpser and Blood Mount, and there was one other one that's blanking out on me. Those big monstering things that have those exploding flails, and I can't think of the name of those things. But Cantus, as we all know, is the healing creature, so it's their equivalent of a medic, so you can literally help them out, your own team. So if anything goes down, or anyone goes down, you do that screech move and refill health. And I'm glad they're doing that, because you need to have a balance. Even though there's more characters for the enemy to choose from, they're unlocked later on the more points you get, because each of these characters cost so many points to use. So and also, I believe Cantus and the Grenadiers can use the Blood Mounts, So you literally are giving your major normal characters these increased bonuses in speed, and I also believe that in doing so, it also gives the ability to have your special attacks respawn quicker, so you literally have the ability to really rip into these enemies and not have to worry. And I mean, the fact that the blood mount, honestly, I never thought, oh, they don't need it, but you know what? It forces you to, when a person if the enemy really does get entrenched in, you can have a quick mobility, and you also have, I believe, that corpser-like thing, those weird multi-things. The typical thing, crawl underneath there, their front arm or legs there, they could be an easily distraction since they're there later on. Okay, I can see why they're put there. The corpser, I mean, honestly, bearing under, you're going to see it, but it's also forcing, it's another creature for later in the game, forces you to engage and think, oh my goodness, what do I have to do? And whatever was that, and the last thing I believe is that weird freaking centipede thing. Honestly, I heard that, I'm like, that damn centipede thing? And it was like, come on, I mean, this is the weirdest thing creature, but it was like, I'm glad it's at the very tier end of the game. For it, because honestly it's a typical, you can't attack it head on, you have to hit it in the butt and just start breaking the segments down like it was in the, like you had in the horde mode and what you had to worry in the beast mode. It was a fun cool thing to see, and I also believe it has the ability to spit at you or shoot something at you, so it's mentally, it seems to be meant as a heavy shock trooper, but it also has its disadvantages. And also I believe that big creature is called the Mauler, if I'm not mistaken. And the Mauler's design is just this brute force marching thing in there. And at first I'm like, oh really, do you really need the thing? And then when I saw that its design is this huge last thing, and if you're shooting at it, and it has this weird shield that can actually spin, and if you spin it, it will reflect bullets upon back to the enemy. And I was kind of glad that they were doing that, because it literally, it forces you, if the person starts to dig in, that they'll just, oh, we'll hit you from the side and get you, and there's no punishment for, oh, we'll just hit your knees and the bolts might bounce, just hit the thing and bounce away. And I was glad they did that, because you know what? It allows better teamwork and forces you to outthink and flank the enemy. And also the fact that that little thing that spins, if you start ramming into people, it will just rip and tear them to pieces. I mean, I know I shouldn't be glorifying violence after what I just did in my previous video, but I'm kind of glad that they're making this class base mean something and make a difference, and actually not be, okay, here's something we're killing. No, it makes a difference. All these classes are designed to work together, and you to work together as a team, and this is the biggest thing, a team base. And honestly, even though if you see this game, even if you ever see this go pro, and I would love to see all these games turn pro, because there's all these different things you have to worry about, but I'd love to see this game type being played by pro teams and pro experts, because I mean, it gives a whole new dynamic, and it forces people to really think, and it forces a really tight-knit group of people to work together. And it's like, it's great for a quick pickup game just to dick around, but it's like, if you could ever get a really tight-knit team together, this would be some of the coolest, intense, long engagement actions to see. And that's kind of what I do want to see, is I want to see these long engagement actions, even though most matches will probably end in like 5-10 minutes, but I like to see this intensity, just back and forth. It's just this struggle of trying to take down the enemy and go at it. And honestly, I think that's missing in a lot of these games, where you see all these games, there's no real thing to throw you off. And honestly, it's like 5v5, I believe, or something like that. And it's like, okay, you get the small, tight, and this is another thing, the push on the tight-knit group of people working together. And I mean, it's bad for if someone wants to play it casually, because if you go against even just two people working together, and your other team's just kind of just gently hanging out, your ass is going to be handed to you. I mean, you literally have to communicate, talk, and it's best to know your buddies there. I mean, you can get away without it, but you need to know your buddies, because that's going to really what's going to help you and go through there. It is a fun gameplay mode, and honestly, even though you know how Gears of War is going to play, I hope that they do more gameplay modes like this, even if it's just little bit by little bit. We need these gameplay modes to kind of play and have fun with, and this is what games should always be. If you have a dedicated franchise, and if you don't have the ability or the green light from the upper management to make huge changes or do huge things, I feel that they should be at least adding certain elements. I mean, something to make these games have this longer lasting appeal. And honestly, I would love to see this massive change, but if I'm not going to get massive change, I want to see innovation in a extra add-on. If they can't do a complete overswap, I want a game mode or add-ons or game types that make up for the fact that they can't, for whatever reasons, can't make this huge change. I want to be a game mode to make this change and make people say, "Ooh, this is fun. I want to do this." This is all I have to say right now. Please definitely pick up the Gears of War, the game when it comes out. It's the new Gears of War Judgment. It's coming out March 19th, 2013. Hopefully it stays on that release date. But honestly, hope you see it. And thank you, and good night.